Una famiglia non vive nei locali parrocchiali, perché la famiglia è sempre in uscita, è collocata sulle frontiere della vita sociale e del mondo. Quindi la famiglia è la punta avanzata dell'evangelizzazione.
There's this notion that we have to take care of ourselves, you know, there is just so much pressure, and I think that what we realized is that people are lonely.
The early church started off as a domestic movement. You read in the book of Acts, the book of Romans, the church met in households, often led by couples. So the domestic church was not just a nuclear family, it was a nuclear family that opened itself up to an extended family, where that extended family, water was thicker than blood. The water of new birth and baptism was thicker than the blood of physical generation.
What we see people coming into is our home, where things are crazy. I mean, the first time we met, it was my birthday and the kids had a cake and they wanted to surprise us and they didn't know we were gonna have our Amore group, and the dog was running around and it was a mess, and I thought, oh my gosh, what are we doing? And that's the thing that Don Renzo talks about, is the small moments of our lives and sharing them and the joy in these small moments.
Yeah.
And that's what people want. I mean, they want family.
There's always been in the history a kind of a secondary narrative of people, leaders who recover this domestic quality. So you have St. Francis recovering the fact that no, the church is to be a brotherhood and a sisterhood, and renews the church, renews the institutional church. St. Ignatius does the same thing. John Wesley does the same thing in 18th century industrialized England. And Don Renzo is now doing that in Italy and Europe through what we call the Amore Project.
Accogliendo fratelli e sorelle, spezzando la parola, condividendo gesti di accoglienza e di amicizia. È una identità profonda che la famiglia può giocare per essere veramente capace di trasformare il mondo.
It's like being able to see into somebody else's house, and for me to see into a Christian's house and them being, you know, they're so transparent about the difficulties they have.
To me, it's huge. I'm, you know, a single woman, and I feel like a lot of times in the church, there's not a lot of place for someone who's single and, you know, in their mid-30s. To me, it was huge to have a place to go where people are from all different stages of life who can get together and talk about what's going on in their lives, and you know, pray for each other and offer support. So just that sense of community and kind of a sense of a place to belong.
The degree that we have an incarnational reality is that we participate in Jesus' body. What I love about the Amore groups is that it becomes a practicum for recognizing Jesus in everyday life because of these 7 moments. They're shaped in such a way to really rewire your mind to see the world differently. And they're very simple, but they're quite profound. Very nurturing, but they're also outward oriented.
We start with worship and then a short prayer, and then it's a time to share on what did Jesus do for you this week and what did you do for Jesus. People in the group have told us it kind of makes you think about that during the week. Then we have a teaching, something short, and then time, you know, just for people to respond to that. Because the group is intended to face outward, we have some time to offer prayers for the community. So prayers for people outside the group, and then time to pray for 1 or 2 people in the group if they have specific prayer needs. And then we end each week, and this is actually really nice, with the Lord's Prayer, but in a circle, holding hands, facing out. And that is intended to be a reminder that that's what the group does, that we face out towards the community.
When God calls out the few among the many, whether it's Abraham and then the children of Israel or the church, it's always to bless the whole. And I think in a domestic church movement, what we're finding is that the family begins to see, oh, we're here to bless our neighborhood. Ted and Holly are our poster couple for how to do this.
So we try to do some sort of parties where we invite social. Other, so people can see we're like normal. In fact, we had a couple that we know that they're atheists. We said it's party. It's kind of our group from church that meets at our house, but it's not a church party. It's just you know, they'll be there. They're nice, but that's not. And they had a great time.
And God was so
amazing. And they said, at the end, it's been such a long time since I've been anywhere that I felt such a sense of community.
And they weren't like saying we're going to go evangelize. No, they basically said we're going to open ourselves up and we're going to love our neighbors, you know. And they treat people with respect and affection, and the people it's so unusual. We kind of want to know what's going on, you know. And then that's when they began to share the gospel.
So it takes finding a Christian, finding a person that they trust. And then they see something when they're here that I believe is the Holy Spirit.
And I've always said faith is caught before it's taught. If it's not caught, the people aren't interested in being catechized. But if they catch it, and that's what happens in our Amore groups, they catch it, then they ask questions.
What we see is the Holy Spirit working in a genuine, true way. And the thing that's amazing is it doesn't matter where they are on their journey. I mean, it might be someone that's been going to church, it might be someone who's brand new to the faith, it might be someone, like Ted said, who's not even sure where they are. But what they need before they can sort of commit to a church or anything else is people who love them. And I feel like we have a way that we can live that changes everything. I mean, I really do, and that's with Jesus and with each other.